Gyan or knowledge is of two kinds. One is theoretical knowledge of the words of a subject. Another is experiential realization. Now, even in the worldly realm, you can see the difference between bookish knowledge and experiential wisdom. In India, they have a course which some ladies opt for, home science. There may be some home science graduates here also. Nowadays, it's going out of fashion. So a lady has done home science. She has learned all the culinary science in theory. But she has never actually entered a kitchen and made these items. She can tell you the recipes. She can even lecture on them. But she is devoid of experience. And that lady's grandmother has not read the books of culinary science, but she's been making the rasoi since the last 70 years. So she knows exactly the brownness on the chapati required for turning it over and the fluff required for turning it over. Hers is knowledge that is experiential. So, value is given to experience. One doctor has just graduated with an MBBS, and he actually got a gold medal in the university. However, he's raw in terms of experience. Another surgeon has conducted 10,000 procedures in the last 30 years of his professional career. If you had to get your surgery done, which of these two would you choose? Would you choose the gold medalist? You'd say, he's devoid of experience. I believe old is gold. That experience really counts. Likewise, in the spiritual realm as well, somebody has got the knowledge of the words. They have learnt a few chopais, a few shlokas, a few mantras. However, they have not actually done the practical sadhana. Now that is very dangerous, because such a knowledge leads to a disease called pride, jnana-abhiman, the pride of knowing. So this knowledge becomes counterproductive. And it is so easy to become proud of knowledge. Somebody who doesn't know will not think, I am a great scholar. But how can the great scholar forget that I know all the scriptures? And in the spiritual side, pride is the biggest stumbling block. And that is why on the spiritual realm, mere theoretical knowledge is not an asset, it is a liability. Shankaracharya says, Lokavasanaya janto shastravasanaya picha dehavasanaya jnanam yathavan naiva jayate. If you have any of these vasanas, you will not get jnana. He has included Shastra Vasana. Some people's vasana is, I have to now read this, and I have to read this, and I have to read this. What about doing practically? No. Reading is sufficient. But reading is not going to give you the realization. One person wrote a letter to a principal of a school. Sir, I was in the German concentration camp during the Second World War. There I saw things that no human should ever see. I saw educated engineers constructing gas chambers and chemists poisoning people with poisonous gas and doctors giving poison injections to babies. I saw the police, which was supposed to protect, killing people. Where did all the education go wrong? These people became educated ruffians. So, Mr. Principal, sir, we must remember to educate the heart. As somebody said, that the heart of education is the education of the heart. Well, the fact is that theoretical knowledge, when devoid of practice, will lead to jnana abhiman, the pride of learning. And when we actually surrender to God, then we will come in contact with our insignificance. And that pride will be dispelled because we'll realize how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things. That is why great scientists like Newton, they admitted they know nothing. Newton, at the end of his life, he said, I was like a child playing with pebbles on the seashore. Now imagine the man who discovered calculus, who discovered the law of gravitation and the laws of motion, and so many of the laws that we study in middle school and high school are all attributed to Newton. That Newton said, I was like a child, playing with pebbles on the seashore, while the whole undiscovered ocean lay in front of me. And how true his words came as the progress of science revealed. On the other hand, shallow scientists who've read a little bit of science will say, there is no God. I know the DNA. I know everything that's to be known. So, true knowledge, there's a saying in Sanskrit, Vidya dadati vinayam. True knowledge will make you humble. Saint Augustine, a Christian saint called one of the founding fathers of Christianity, he called it divine ignorance. Everybody is ignorant. But because they are ignorant, they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they are not knowing, so they think they know everything. And when knowledge starts coming, they come in touch with their ignorance and they say, oh my God, I don't know anything at all. Now the humbleness comes. And that is why Bhartrihari, a famous saint in our Indian culture, the famous disciple of Gorakhnath, was the disciple of Matsyendranath, the Nath Sampradaya. Bhartrihari says, Yada kinchit gyoham dvipa iva madandhas samabhavam tada sarvagyosmitya bhavadavaliptam mama manaha. He says, when I knew a little bit, I had the theoretical knowledge of the scriptures. Intoxicated by pride, I was thinking I am Sarvagya, all-knowing. But then I associated with the saints. And in their company, my pride got dispelled. And now I understood What a fool I am. I don't know anything. Yada kinchit kinchit buddha jana sakashadavagatam tada murkhosmitya jvara iva mado me vyapagataha. Socrates, the wise old man of Greece, the same statement. He was asked in his old age, what do you know? He said, when I was young, I thought I know everything. But now I only know one thing, that I don't know anything. So this is real knowledge, which is the inner awakening. And that is the knowledge which will lead to devotion. So the acharyas are saying you are correct that knowledge will result in devotion, but not the knowledge in the books. The realization you will get from inside. Maharshi Patanjali has also referred to it. He says, Ritambara tatra pragya Shrutanumana pragyabhyaman vishya vishesharthatvat. The knowledge from the Shrutis, subtler than that is the knowledge you get in Samadhi, which comes from inside. That Samadhi is imbued with insights. So Samadhi is giving you a realization. Shree Krishna has referred to it in the Gita, Dadami buddhi yogam tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Arjun, those who engage their mind in me, in loving devotion, I, seated from inside, give them the knowledge. So that kind of knowledge, the realization, will result in love. What these acharyas are saying is that the inner knowledge will result in love, which will result in more knowledge, which will result in more love, which will result in more knowledge, which will result in more love. So that is why they have an anyonyashray. Does that mean that we should not read the scriptures because they will create pride? Not really. Many of the acharyas say, no, you must read them. Tulsidas says, Sohana Ram Prem Binu Gyanu Karnadhar Binu Jimi Jalayanu. Arey bhai, just saying Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram will not suffice. You need to understand. So read the scriptures. Don't throw them away right away. Don't remain only in the theory. Use it and implement it. If you just remain in the theory, you will become proud. So put it to good use and engage in surrender. Then the realizations will keep coming. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Siddhant baliya chitte na karo alos. In reading the scriptures, don't be lazy. It's just like if a thorn gets stuck in your foot. Now don't curse all the thorns of the world. Get hold of one thorn. Arey, I've already got a thorn stuck. Never mind, you will find good use for another one. Jam the second thorn in the first one and then extract both of them. After that, you can throw both away. Likewise, right now, there is agyan inside us. We need to get it out. So first get the theoretical gyan of the scriptures. And then do sadhana and get realized gyan. Once you have the realization, then throw away the theoretical gyan. You don't have any further need of it. But in the beginning, don't throw it away. Otherwise, you will become confused. That is why the Mundak Upanishad says what we need to do. Dhanor grihitva upanishadam mahastram sharam hyupasa nishitam sandhayita ayamya tadbhavikatena chetasa lakshyam brahma saumya. It says, take the bow of the Upanishads. This is the scriptures. Put on it the arrow of bhakti and let the edge of the arrow be of bhav, loving sentiments. And with this contraption, you go to hunt for the supreme divine entity. Which means use jnana and also do bhakti, both. And this also makes sense. In fact, in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Rupa Goswami, he's categorized sadhaks into three. So he says, the best sadhaks, who are they? Shastre yuktau cha nipunaha sarvatha dridha nischayah praudha shraddhodhikariya sabhaktavutamo matah. Those who have strong faith and the knowledge of the Shastras, both. Shastre yuktau and dridha nischayah. Such sadhaks will move forward strongly protected from the world. Then is the Madhyam Adhikari. Shastra Dishva Nipunah. Shraddhavan Satu Madhyamaha. Who don't have the knowledge of the scriptures. They say, what is the need of that? We'll just say Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. But they have strong faith. Rupa Goswami says they are in the middle category because they are always in danger. They are doing bhakti of Shree Krishna and they encounter Kusang. Somebody says, whose bhakti you are doing? No, this Mukundananda came along and I also started doing Radhe Govind, Govinda Radhe. Are, don't you know Shree Krishna was a loafer? He had 16,000 wives. I said, really? I thought he was God. Now your bhakti will go for a toss. So he said, these are the Madhyam Adhikaris. They are moving on the basis of faith, but the faith is vulnerable. The Shastra Jnana is necessary. The understanding, theoretical at least. And then are the Kanishta Adhikaris. Yo bhavet komala shraddha sa kanishtho nigadhate. Those who neither have much knowledge, nor do they have faith. Like somebody says, Swamiji, the Gita says do karma. Say, have you read Gita? No, my neighbor has read Gita. So this is the Alpa Gyan, and they don't have much faith. So they are always in a dilemma. Kuch shraddha, kuch dushtata, kuch sanchay, kuch jnana, ghar ka rahana, ghat ka, jo dhobi ka swan. They go a little forward and a little back and a little forward, a little back. So, Rupa Goswami is also of the view that you need Shastra Gyan plus Bhakti. Now, this is the Anyonyashray Sambandh. That first, through little Gyan, you will get Bhakti, then you do Bhakti, you will get more Gyan, then more Bhakti, then more Gyan, more Bhakti, more Gyan, until they both max out. And then all the Gyan will merge into Bhakti. Then the devotee will forget that God is God. He'll only think Shree Krishna is mine.